Okay, thank you very much. Hey everyone, I'm Monica Reynolds, and I've been in real estate for 44 years. I've coached more people than anyone in the country, and it'll be a while before they can catch up with me. I had a seventh level business where the rainmaker never showed up ever for 7 years in a row, other than to look at the P&L, and that was done by phone, and he netted $1 million a year. And so I know exactly what it takes. I was running the business and I was taking all the listings, 175 per month. Don't I wish? 175 per year. So I want to share with you that, I'm going to share just 4 levels with you. And I want you to hear this loud and clear. You do not need, under any circumstance, to build a massive team. If you do it right, you're going to build it right. So, Stephanie, let's go to I'm going to hook in a better microphone. I just noticed I'm off. Stephanie, let's go to the next slide. Okay. So the first 4 foundational bricks, we're going to talk about those in the 4. So there's 7 levels that Gary wrote about in the MREA book. And on the next slide, Stephanie, let's go to brick 1 or level 1. This is you. How do you rate yourself on this level 1? You're a real estate agent. You lead generate, you go on listing appointments, buyer appointments, you lead follow-up, you write, negotiate contracts, and you role play and scripts. Now, how would you rate yourself on a 1 to 10 in each one of those? Obviously, 50 would be the right one. And then when you look at this, you must consider this. You have to be a purist about the morning. A purist about the morning is that you're lead generating, you're doing lead follow-up, minimum of 20 contacts a day, minimum of doing lead follow-up at least 30 to 40 minutes. 70% of all deals come from lead follow-up. And so that's a critical piece. Now, level 1, so you're all there, we're real estate agents. Now you go to the next one, level 2 or brick 2. And this is when you hire your first assistant. So we'll go to that next one. So when you're doing about 30 to 40 transactions, it could be a little less if you're doing luxury, of course. And yet I want you to look at level 2. This is an executive assistant. Your first hire is your most important hire. They get a job description, a 30, 60, 90. They handle the phones. Yes, you need a phone line, a digital phone line that's answered so that you're not on a listing appointment fielding calls. So how do you do that? You're going to have to figure that out. You can get Ring Central, transfer your phone to your assistant, or you can get just a new phone altogether, give that phone to your assistant, and then you have a private phone. And during then after hours, you take it back, or however you want to do it, or Ring Central back to yourself. So you've got to figure that out. When you hire your first assistant, you're a business person. You're not a realtor anymore. You're a business person. You have an employee, and they do all the listings, the closings, command, the opportunities. They're tracking all your leads, customer experience, culture, repeat and referrals, lead generation, and track numbers, just for a few, right? When you're doing 45 plus or more, you start to hire the next assistant or that person. Before we go there, let's go to what this first assistant's going to do the first 30 days. So let's go to 30 days, Stephanie. So again, the first assistant is going to do everything. You saw your job description. You saw a partial job description of theirs. This is the 30, 60, 90 that I wrote for career visioning. Okay, so when you look at the first 30 days, they need to know how to answer the phone correctly. They need to practice what your opening script is. Thank you for calling Monica Reynolds' office. This is Stephanie. I can help you. What is your opening? How do they end the call? By the way, we love referrals. I want to ask you a favor. Who do you know right now is thinking about buying or selling? We have a goal to help 20 families the rest of the year with a new home or selling their home. So we're helping people with the American dream. If you had an assistant doing that on every call, do you think you'd get something that you didn't find? Of course you would. That's why they are the secret weapon. The next thing is they're going to learn the database. They're going to learn the CRM. They're going to learn command, hopefully, is what you're using. Manage mail campaigns, email videos. They're going to learn all of those things. And then also, in my personal opinion, they know listings from A to Z. They know how to maintain a conversation log. They maintain everything. And so when you look at this, they're learning the phone, listings in the database. Now, going on to day 60 or 60 days, they don't go past 30 till they manage all of that. And this is closing the files, tracking numbers, and lead generation if there's some sort of support. And I'll show you an example of that coming up. That's what they do in 60 days. They don't go past that until they've got the next one, 90 days. Okay. So each time that you hire an assistant, they should be a 4 times return on investment. The assistants are not a liability. They are absolutely your partner moving forward to double your business. Normally, most agents can double their business with the new hire of 1 assistant because you're doing lead follow-up, lead generation, going on appointments, writing contracts, and role playing, right? So on the 90 days, they're in charge of all the marketing, all listings, all pendings, database, phones and scripts, tracking numbers, goal monitoring, which is tracking numbers, and also that they're helping with maybe 1 or 2 lead generation systems. So this is critical to the success of getting this started right in the first 90 days. Too many times agents will hire an assistant and they don't have systems in place. Too many times they'll hire an assistant and they're just winging it through there. There's no such thing as winging. I've done this longer than anyone. I wrote books in the 90s on assistants and team building. And some of my information is in the MREA book. Imagine that. And so what I want to share with you is that, you know, when you consider, which I teach a course starting tomorrow, the perfect real estate assistant, that's for agents and for assistants. These are building the systems. So on the next page, I want to share something with you. What if you went, because I always like to give a value. And of course, these are all going to be available to you. I give a value. And so here's a value. What if you had an assistant that coordinated with the seller sending out this letter? So here's my script at a listing presentation. Mr. Seller, I have a unique proposition for you regarding marketing. I'd like to send a letter on your behalf in a white envelope, white stationery, that describes a little bit about you guys and says that you're moving and that you've hired me to help you, because sometimes that buyer is going to come from the neighborhood, meaning someone knows someone who wants in this area, or somebody is renting and they want to buy now. So this is an opportunity for us. And so my assistant would coordinate all this. Dear neighbor, now just think about this. If you get a letter in your mailbox from your neighbor today, would you go, now what? What's happened here? I think, oh, my dogs are barking too much. Somebody's mad at me. But what's it? We go, why is my neighbor mailing me a letter? It's so much more powerful than a just listed, just sold. Imagine what your assistant can do for you on that, because there's a just sold part to this also. We're your neighbors that live at 123 Cherry Street. I own the greenhouse on the corner with the red door. My wife and I have lived in the neighborhood for 7 years. I'm also the person who walks my dog, blah, blah, blah. We are moving and we've listed our homes with Keller Williams Realty. And I put in there Monica Reynolds. The reason we are writing you is to ask you a favor. Should you know of anyone who would like to live in our neighborhood, please forward our information. What a great way to get to the neighbors that this neighbor chose this realtor. Wow. Okay, let's go to the next one. Brick number 3 or level 3, the TC or listing manager. So what you want to do is you've got one assistant and you have to decide, is that assistant a great listing manager or is that person the TC? So whatever that person is, they go to that area. So when it says 2 different personality styles, in my personal experience, and I've coached more people than anyone in the country, I had a big 7th level team. One of the things that I can share with you is that a listing manager should have some S, okay? In the DISC personality. They should have some C, but a lot of S, because they're the golden retrievers. We're going to keep everybody happy during this listing process. When it comes to the TC, you can't have a high I. A high I is a great personality. They're a buyer agent, but a high I's got a lot of drama sometimes. Oh my gosh, what about this? And so you want a TC to be a high C. They can only be a high C in my world. I want them to cross the T's, dot the I's, and make everything perfect. Make everything perfect. And so at that transaction part, that TC is getting 1 5-star review and one referral before the transaction closes. Imagine people say to me, how do I double my business? I said, get a referral from every single client. When you have an assistant, you have a partnership. So when you come to my class, I empower the assistants to help contribute to your business. I empower them to be able to learn these scripts and to role play these scripts with you and to become so powerful. So when you go to this level, you're at about 75 transactions. Sometimes people do it sooner based on your price point, based on your commissions, but this is just what I've known over the years. Okay, let's go to brick number 4, shall we? All right. So brick number 4, this is where you get a licensed buyer agent who becomes a showing partner. Now, this is incredible where people make a mistake here. They'll hire one assistant and then get a buyer agent. And no judgment, people have done it and they've done it successfully, and sometimes it's disastrous. You have to have business. You have to have things happening in your business to support a buyer agent. So sometimes people will pull the trigger without having the business to support growing the team like that. So that's why I say, and I'm following Gary's model of, you know, you're an agent, you hire an assistant, you hire a second assistant, then you hire a showing agent. Now, the key about a showing agent is that they are attached at your hip at least 30 times shadowing you. Now, when you look at that, you go 30 times, only if you want them to be over the top better than you. So maybe it's 10 times you teach them, and 10 times you role play with them, and 10 times they do a Zoom call with you showing a buyer presentation. Now, because when you're showing them, you're moving them from a showing partner to a buyer agent. Hopefully they're on the bench moving up. Now, there's nothing wrong with just having a showing partner. A showing partner means that they showing partner means they open up doors and they show property. A showing partner means that you, as the rainmaker, you figure out the properties, you negotiate the contract, you get the feedback on the showings. The showing partner opens the door. They may drive them around and show them property they're coming from out of state. Usually, you do not want to pay more than 10 to 15% of the commission. Now, you can get a lot of agents to open doors for you at $50 a door, or whatever it happens to be, $50 a door, whatever, $25 a door, whatever, but that's not a team member. When you have a team member, make sure that you're looking at a couple of things. And that is, when you have a team member, that you're not overpaying them. Now, when that buyer showing partner moves up to a buyer agent, of course, the splits are different. It should never be more than 50-50, ever, ever, ever. And if you're giving them the lead, if you want to follow the model, you pay them 35%. So before I move on to the next slide, let's recap a couple of things. So your first level is you. And your job is lead generation, lead follow-up, going on appointments, writing and negotiating contracts. When you bring in that first assistant, then that's going to be level 2, brick 2, laying the foundation. You know, hopefully you have a job description, 30, 60, 90. You get all of those in the Perfect Real Estate Assistant program that's starting tomorrow. The phone systems, the emails, all the listing systems, closing systems, command, marketing, social media, customer experience, culture, repeat and referral systems, lead generation and tracking. Your EA is in charge of all of those things. And so when you come to the Perfect Real Estate Assistant class, those systems are all given to be implemented. Now, not all can be implemented at once. And so it's really critical. When you look at the 5 lead generation sources, you have to nail those down. So where's most of your business coming from? Past clients, center of influence. Is it expireds? Is it FSBOs? Is it out of area owners? Is it absentee owners? Is it senior transition? You know, social media. What are your 5 lead generation systems? Because you have to have those in order to support building to that 75 plus, where you then bring in a buyer agent. You may keep a buyer showing partner, and I have a lot of people I coach that keep buyer showing partners and they have buyer agents on their team. The buyer showing partner is for their special clients. Okay. The team value proposition, I'm going to show you that next. And again, shadowing, and you're going to hate that 30 times. But if somebody shadowed you, on a regular basis, you can clone them to be you. So Aaron Simon's on my team. He and I went on 1,000 listing appointments before I said, I'm done. Now, a lot of that was I could have been done sooner. I just happened to like going on them. But then there was a point where I went, I can't do this anymore. But he was better than me. He had taken all the good stuff that I do and plus brought his own twist into it. It was awesome. So on the next slide, Stephanie, let's show that. I'm going to talk to you about a value proposition. So when you're thinking about building a team, you've got to show your value. And on this screen, some of this will never make sense to you at all. But what do you bring to the table for someone? So you're a rainmaker. You're an agent. You're going to coach that person. So you're going to coach that showing agent. You're going to coach that assistant. You have to become that coach. The other things that you'll look at on these screens, which are really important is what are the services that you provide? So on an agent one, you're providing all kinds of things with command and opportunities with the market center trainings and all of those things, which are valuable, client appreciation parties. So those have to be in a form where you can say, here's what I'd like to share with you, the value that I bring to the team. One of the key things, and I'll show you on the next screen, is that you don't have to have a massive team. And I've watched some of these massive teams, and I think, wow, my team was 14, 15 max at one time. And I'll remember I thought, wow, this is a lot of people to be responsible for. And so some of you love that. And I've seen teams that are, 50, 60, 70 agents. And that's amazing. And I love the way people can do that. You have to decide who you are and what you want to achieve. So Stephanie, let's go to the next one and put some of your questions in the chat box. I'm happy to answer them. I mean, you've got me here and I'm going to answer whatever you need. So I'm going to show you how to net $1 million with 4 people. Okay. So, and I don't know what your commission is, so you might have to do a few more transactions to get there. So database of 5,000 people in your database. Now that is of completes. Name, address, phone number, and email. So no judgment here. How many do you have in your database? How many completes? How many incompletes? What are you doing to get those completes? Okay. And you need a marketing program behind that, obviously. You want, 36 touch, video going out every single month. What is it going to take? What are you doing for social media? One showing partner, and I don't like splits. I like shared commissions, 10 or 15%. Don't go above the model. They're not writing the contracts. They're not negotiating, and you're going to take them eventually, hopefully, off the buyer agent. Okay, so if you sold 100 homes at a minimum average commission of $12,000, that's $1.2 million. And you pay 10% of that to your showing partner, and it's going to be less, if you did a 50-50 there, then that would be about $60,000, $75,000 a year. Not a bad salary for someone showing houses and no responsibilities, right? And then you're paying your assistant somewhere between, 40 and 60,000, depending on where you live and what the bonus structure is. And so your marketing, your CRM, that's technically free with command. So how much more are you spending? So you got $200,000 there to spend, and you're pretty lean and mean. I've got a guy that's in his 70s. He was on Gary's mega camp on stage. He's 75 and he makes over $2 million a year door knocking and has one assistant. He's highly profitable, highly profitable. Now, here's the kicker. 35% of business is from referral networks. So you have to divide these up, and you have to, at this time of year, what is the 35%? Is that agents? It's a combination of all of these. So how many agent referrals did you get this year? What percentage of that? Vendors, meaning your affiliates. Absolutely. I'm in a partnership with them. I expect them to give me at least one referral that SOI, sphere of influence. How many referrals did you get from that? Okay. The next one, obviously, is your team and past clients. If you got hardly any from your past clients, then you have to have the ownership. What do we need to do differently? What can we do this last quarter that's going to make a huge difference? So look at number 6, client appreciation party, 0 budget, affiliate participation. You shouldn't spend any money on your client appreciation party. I know RESPA. I know it better than anybody probably. But I know that they can participate by bringing or doing or paying, not you directly, for part of the party or all of that party. You've got to review your P&L. Why did I pay for that? Can I eliminate that? Or who else could pay for that? Right? ROI every month on lead generation, at least 4 times a return. What if you had a goal with your assistant that he or she would bring 1 referral to you from their sphere of influence? How do you make that happen? There's a whole system for that. Referrals from every client in every transaction using the promise. By the way, we promise that we will make this the best possible experience. On a scale of 1 to 10, we want to make it a 10 plus. We do know it's real estate and people. And so when we do get into a glitch, we're going to keep you totally informed 100%. And there will be every effort to make sure that you are having a great experience while we're working together. And all we ask during that time together is that you give us 1 referral. We have a goal to help 25 more families this year with the American dream. I'd love to count on you. So you got to learn these scripts. Your assistant has to learn these scripts. 20 contacts per day. This is a business where where did the cheese go? Who took the cheese? What happened, right? So we're in a business now. We're salespeople. And when you start to look at what is it that you can do to be a business person and a realtor. So hiring that first assistant, having systems in place is critical. So we'll go to the next slide here real quick, and then I'll answer some questions. So tomorrow the class starts. The first class of every month, and I know we're starting in the middle, but it's usually the first month. The first class is for agents only. I teach you how to be a good boss. I teach you how to retain and keep people. That is a critical piece of building a business. When you're hiring and firing and hiring and they're leaving and hiring and they're gone and they disappear, it's very, very costly. So I teach you how to be a great boss. Plus I share with you what's happening. There's 450 pages of a policy and procedures manual. And in that policy and procedures manual is every system that I've mentioned so far, plus more. I give you a senior transition package. Did you know that 70% of all listings now are of people over 60 years old? They have the money, they're on the move. Senior transition package. I have an out of area absentee owner package. I have a recruiting package that would help you recruit the best agents for your team. And I've also got a probate package and a probate package and a divorce package. All of those packages are how you have other businesses. So right now, let me do a little coaching here. Expireds and FSBOs, those are great. They come and go. What doesn't come and go are divorces, 1 out of 2 marriages. So what is your relationship with a divorce attorney? Do you know how to approach them? Do you have a package? Senior citizens, largest population in the country. They have the most money. They're on the move. They're downsizing, upsizing. They don't care about the interest rates because they have cash. Do you have a senior transition package? Do you know how to pinpoint those people and stay in touch? What are they looking for in a concierge service? I've got all of that. So probate, senior citizens, those are absolutely top of mind. 50% of my business in California was out of area absentee owners. They don't have anyone calling them ever. And I would say, I just drove by your property, Mr. Johnson. Do you have a minute? I'd like to give you an update. In fact, I took a snapshot. I can send it to you. These are just these little relationships like that. And of course, divorce attorneys, etc. So I give you a whole bunch of those kind of packages. Plus, more importantly, you will have systems. I have the blueprints. I have the best blueprints possible for you. And so when this class starts tomorrow, this first call tomorrow is for you. If you can't make the class tomorrow, but you want to sign up, go ahead and sign up because they're all recorded. I'm live. And so when you come, we have 15 minutes of Q&A. So I'm your coach for the next 6 months. And so this is a really good way to make an investment in yourself. So if you don't have the systems and you don't have an assistant, 35% of the class is agents. So you'll have people. The other thing is that if you just hired your assistant, it's perfect. If your assistant's been with you 2 or 3 years and you want to take it to the next level for 2024, can't believe it's 2024, then this class is for you. So I promise you, I will deliver, and you will be absolutely thrilled at all the systems that you can copy or modify and change. Now, if you're in a hurry, okay, then let's check the next slide. If you wanted to come to an event, so Stephanie, let's share the next slide. So I'm only sharing this if you wanted to come live. I do a 2-day live event where Mo Anderson, Linda McKissick, she's the #1 profit share earner in KW for year after year. It's like 1.8 million. Joe Bogart coached more people in 7th level. And then the other person is Kristen Cole, and she's got a huge expansion team. So we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of expansion. And of course, Aaron Simons, who took 175 listings year after year after year. And he's a coach now with MAPS. So go back to the other slide, Stephanie. So if you're interested in coming live to Austin at KWRI at our headquarters, or on our assistant one, Stephanie, go back one if you can. The perfect real estate assistant. There you go. There is a Web 100 and save $100. I promise you that this will be the best and the most valuable course. We have people who repeat this course over and over again. Every time they get a new assistant, they just put it in the course. I give the big picture. Make an investment in your people. Make the time to take your business to the next level. Gary Keller said systems are the most important thing to focus on. People can be interchangeable. People can move in and out of our lives, but you need the systems. I'm the systems master. I got the systems down. So Stephanie, I'll look at some questions here. If anybody has any questions, put it in the chat box. Any particular questions?
Haven't seen any, Monica.
Okay. All right. We got the shy group today. All right. So as a coach, what I would say to you is I would really consider signing up for this class. I'd really consider what is your why in building a team. And if anything, hire your first assistant. Get your first assistant. And then remember when I said the power of all of this is that you have to have the training? Let me be the coach for your assistant. I want the job. I want to sign up. All right. Respectful of everyone's time. If there's no other questions, sign up or come to the 2-day. I'd love. Where are the calls? What is that? Sorry if we just, where are the calls entailed? Is that what I'm seeing?
Well, I think it means what do the calls entail?
Like, well, what is it? Okay, got it. Well, happy to answer that question. All right. So the first call is on communication. Then we go to job description and we go to schedule. I give you examples of everything, right? The 4th call, 5th and 6th calls are on listings. 7th, 8th, and 9th call are on pendings. 11th, 12th, and 13th call are on customer service. Then it's numbers and it's goal setting. So pretty much after all these years, I've got it memorized pretty good. So every single one of those, there's 450 pages of policies and procedures. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. I've either written them or I've stolen them, borrowed them from the best agents in the country that I've coached and tweaked them up a bit. And so I want you to hear that. You do not have to think, gosh, we need a buyer package. I've got it for you. We need a pre-list package. I've got it for you. Gosh, we need to have a package that we want to send to a senior citizen and help them with transition. I got it for you. Probates, I got it for you. So lead generation, I've got 5 systems for you. We cover that. The most critical thing is that every single job that you would have on your team, being a buyer agent, a showing agent, listing manager, a TC, I've got the job description, the 30, 60, 90, and more importantly, I've got the ads and how you find the perfect person for your team. Okay, good. All right. Hopefully that was a great question. So sign up. I'd love to have you on the call since you want to know. If you don't have enough.
Here's another great question.
Yeah, I see it, Stephanie. Yeah,
What if you don't have enough transactions to justify? Okay.
Well, one of the things that I'd say to you about that is this. Then you need to come to this class because there's going to be so much in this class will help you get to those transactions. So again, you're in a building stage, you're in the information stage. Your success will absolutely come from these classes because you're going to put the systems into place. You're going to learn when to hire and how to hire. More importantly, you're going to put the lead generation in. You're going to have the numbers that will help you analyze your numbers. So absolutely. The calls take place at 12:30. Tomorrow it starts at 12:30 Central on Wednesdays. I'm live and they're recorded. So if you miss a call, they're recorded for 8 months. So starting tomorrow, those calls will be available. Call one would be available for 8 months. All the materials will be available online for you too. Okay, what are the systems just mentioned? Here, I saw this, Stephanie. What are the systems just mentioned be in this training only? I don't know what that means. Stephanie, the systems in this training, there's like 15 to 20 playbooks. So it's lead generation, job description. You know, there's probably 100 pages on different job descriptions for all the different jobs, whether it's a buyer agent or buyer showing agent. Everything is there. So whatever system you want a listing system, you want a pre-list package, you want a buyer system, you want a buyer package, I've got it all. So just name a system, tell me what you're looking for, and I'll probably say, yeah, I've got that. I built this. So there's 450 plus pages of exact examples that you can duplicate and scale up. So remember, everything I'm giving you is scalable and duplicatable. Okay, was there another? Well, all the systems just mentioned in this, everything that I mentioned, you'll get. Let's see. What else am I missing here? I think I got them all, Stephanie, didn't I?
I believe so.
Bottom line, I can do this for you. I can take your business to the next level. There's not one person that ever came out of this course and said this was not worth it. There's not one person in all these years. And every single time I add stuff, I perfect it, I move stuff out that's not market of the moment. So a few years ago, we didn't talk very long about expireds and FSBOs. We didn't talk about some different things than short sale packages and things like that. You're going to get them. We may not talk a lot about them, but you're going to get them. REO stuff, you're going to get them, but we're not going to talk a lot about them just yet because it's not the focus. The focus is your database right now. Growing that and getting repeat and referral business is the best way to find business right now. Plus those senior citizens, I want to show you how to go after them. They've got the money and they're on the move. So hopefully you're getting your fair share. All right, Steph, anything else? Graham, anything else? I think that's good. So you get Web 100,
we're good.
$100. Click on that. Get on the course tomorrow. If you can't make that class, you get to listen to it. And then the first week of every month is for agents. I'm going to teach you how to be a great boss. And if you're brand new to the business, you're a new agent, this course is for you. In fact, Gary Keller said this. This is what Gary Keller said. If you take any course, take this one. If you take any course, take this one. So take it from Gary. I got the quote. Hey, everybody. Thanks for letting me have the time with you. Go have an awesome, amazing week. And I hope to see you on the call tomorrow because they're live and we're on Zoom. Thanks, everybody. Have a